Let's go this direction, Jeremy. You get started. Just kind of tell us who you are, the organization that you run, and how many members that you have. I think that's a good context.
Absolutely. Jeremy Crawford, President and CEO of FMLS, Atlanta's MLS. We are actually privately broker shareholder owned, so not NAR owned or affiliated. 57,000 subscribers that we serve today. We also vend to other MLSs of about 15,000 subscribers, and then we data share with other MLSs as well. So exposure-wise, a listing in FMLS is actually out there to today over 225,000 agents and brokers through their local MLSs, be it us, a partner, or a data sharing partner, which some of them are in the room today.
Yeah, what is your attitude towards technology and the distribution of that technology, and how has it changed since you've been there?
Well, like you, I'm 23 years in, and I started at MarketLinx, which was the first web-based MLS system. And so you think 23 years ago, I was the 16th employee there, having the first literally internet web-based system. And while I'll agree with Matthew, there's some archaic things because my background is computer science, I left the banking industry, which was still dial-up modems for the loan officers to get information about houses and cars to underwrite loans, right? And then to flash forward to where we are today with FMLS, many of you don't know I was the first CEO at the Real Estate Standards Organization, which Sam has done a phenomenal job carrying that forward. And no one here yet said data standardization in this industry has been key. The partnerships, the data shares that we have with Stellar MLS is amazing that we can share data because we are using standardized data. It wasn't said yet, but we look at Bluetooth technology is such an ease of use. We don't think about the Bluetooth organization of all these competitors that work together. As MLSs, we're competitors in the United States. I have one 15 miles from my headquarters, right? They're association owned, we're broker owned, but we have an opportunity to be nimble. We have an opportunity, as Emily mentioned, is that we can now invest in technology as an MLS, which was unheard of back in the day, except for the very few not so lighthearted like David Sharon who made their back-end database. Now we're all talking about owning as an MLS our back-end database, but I'll also say where this industry has evolved, not just in standardization of data, but the amount of data that the MLS provides in the U.S. marketplace to its brokers and agents. They don't look at us as just the source of truth for listing information that the agent starts to put in, but they also look at us for school data, school districts, school zones. One of the biggest things that consumers are concerned about, at least in the U.S. market of the home buying experience, they expect the MLS to solidify and trust the MLS that they have accurate school data. They have accurate flood information, not the insurance companies, but their MLS's backyard. So the wealth of data that is now provided through the MLS on property information, not just listing information, has been leaps and bounds over the past 5 years. And we can get into AI and we can talk about accessibility and we can talk about all those other things, but the data we now provide between 5 years and today at FMLS it is exponential for a piece of property that is really germane to what a consumer needs in today's marketplace. And we're doing it in a standardized manner. So they're seeing it as the consumers see it on other websites in a very similar manner.
Barrier to you, an asset to you? Do you think it's going to prevent you from doing what you need to do in a timely way, or is this the same kind of thing what Emily was saying, is as long as you, I guess, have that construct correctly and you get buy-in and you can do that in a timely manner, it's actually an asset to you, not a hindrance?
My board is a huge asset to the way that we function. They are brokers that run firms that are very successful in their own business. They know how to run businesses in general. They know how to guide FMLS to run a business financially, profitable, customer satisfaction, innovation, and that's really their focus. And I think that, I think, Emily, you kind of break the mold against many others out there with your board as well. But to Emily's point, as a CEO, one of the most important things that you can do, and for those that don't have an MLS yet, one of the most important things that you can do, as Emily has done, is ensure you have the correct board members. Because as a CEO, your success is to make sure you have the best leaders guiding you at your board. And I think having a stable, diverse board of skill sets and longevity of their board, not volunteers that change every year that don't know what happened in December because it's now January, but stability, business thinking, forward thought thinking. They have run successful businesses. If we look at public and privately shareholder traded companies and you look at the makeup of their boards are experts. Many of them are compensated, not volunteers, because they're experts. And that's going to make your organization successful. That's going to also make you have the ability as a CEO to be nimble. If you looked at what Jeff said of yesterday versus today of AI libraries that are out there, we need to move as quick as that. We do not need to be archaic in what Matthew found when he came into this industry. And we need to move swiftly and quickly. I can call an emergency board meeting tomorrow and they'll make a decision tomorrow. We do not have to go through committee and process and discovery. And Emily has made sure that she has the same board makeup of success, no matter that we're completely different owned and different governed in our bylaws. The board members are leading the organization. And I know David has done the same thing at MRS and now Bright. And now that Brian Donnellan's there is doing the same. It's making sure your board can provide success to the organization. That's so key. And if we had the blank slate like others do in the room from the European perspective, they have the opportunity to have standards that we never had. And they have the opportunity to learn and start from fresh, to know the mistakes that we had. Because I'm happy to share the many mistakes that we've made in the United States in this industry, to go to Romania or Georgia and have one MLS for the entire country and have correct processes and procedures and accurate data, because we didn't have that in the U.S. and we're still not there yet. But they can start from scratch, whereas we're getting over mistakes we're continuously to make.
You're known for being aggressive. You're known for being something of a visionary in that way. You know, you're part of an investment in a software company. I mean, you were pushing the envelope and still are. How important is that to your organization, the leadership and your members? And is that something that you plan on, I guess, continuing? I guess the answer would be an obvious yes.
Well, we were formed 57 years ago to help brokers transact real estate. That's still our mission today. What the market looks like is different. I had a pager in college. That was my first little carry with me technology. Today's first-time home buyer grew up with a smartphone in their hand. And so when we look at where we need to deliver to help our brokers transact technology and transact real estate, we have to look at who their buyer market is. And I look at my 12 and 10-year-old. We have 9 Amazon Alexas in our house. What do my kids do when they want to search Google? It's the talking house. So what did we do at FMLS? We implemented Finding Homes by Lundy so that my kids can search for houses verbally with an Amazon Alexa, and it will tell them about the house. And then it will tell them 10 other houses that have a pool that looks like the house that they're talking to them about. And so I think it's important to look at the buyer market through your broker and agent's eyes and move swiftly, because we all are human nature resistant to change, be it a broker, be it an agent. And one of my favorite books is Who Moved My Cheese? And it's important for adoption of the technology, but it's important to power our brokers by knowing what their buyers and sellers are needing and the technology that's there today, and do it quickly and get it there. We have the data, we have the staff, let's empower them and let's move it forward quickly.